Hello again, and we're back, and we're going to do another versus video. This time the trapping characters, Trapper versus Hag. Both these characters use traps. So first, a quick look at our first build for our Trapper game. Barbecue with chili for extra blood points. Probably not necessarily a great perk on Trapper really, but I want the blood points, and they're all reading. It's useful. It's useful. Outside of 40 meters, I get an aura reading after I've hooked a survivor. This perk has been in most of the videos so far. This one's new. I haven't used one in many previous videos. Brutal strength, break pallets, generators 20% faster. Save the best for last. Speeds up my attacks. As long as I'm hitting non-obsessions, I get a 5% cooldown up to 8 times, up to 40%. Corrupt intervention blocks free generators at the beginning of the match for 120 seconds or 2 minutes. It's a good perk for a trap based character because you have to set up early, so you lose a lot early on. Trap settings help me increase the speed at which I set traps, and the trapper sack. When you're playing trapper, you always need some kind of a trapper bag because otherwise you're restricted to carrying one trap at a time, and you don't really want that. You can carry more, you're better off. So trapper just puts his traps down, and he's a killer that he has to set up early, which is one of the reasons why we run corrupt intervention. You can see corrupt intervention, those white generators, basically they're blocked, they can't be operated on yet. It forces the survivors to do other things or look for gens that are closer to where you spawn, and therefore give you an earlier starting downing people and just setting up. It's a useful perk, and you see a lot of killers run it. It's particularly useful for a killer like Trapper who wants to set up his game earlier on. So we're going around and we're just going to pick up traps where we can find them. I'm always highlighting in red, like that. Pick up the bear trap and set it up somewhere we think might be useful. I assume that a lot of characters are going to. Oh, we've got a Leon up there. He's trying to blind me. We're off, Leon. I don't know what happened there. He's dropped that pallet. I could have had him. I could have had him right off the top of that. He's down there anyway. So we'll hook our friend Leon. Leon S. Kennedy. And you can see that the red ring's running around the corrupt intervention icon in the bottom right hand corner. That's basically telling me how long those generators are still blocked for. They've done one. The 3 at the back end there that they've left. That's brutal strength in play right there. I don't think I'll get much use out of this trap, but I kind of want to. Well, I thought I'd be trapping that. She sprung a trap over there, but they can get out. They can get out of them. But either way, it's not that bad a deal because it's left her at the very least injured. So if I find her, then I haven't got to worry about a first injure hit. I just got to. She was a bit preemptive. So I'm quickly going to break this pallet with brutal strength. You can see that brutal strength, 20% faster kick into pallets and walls and generators. It is actually useful. Someone's working on that, or there was. I've heard it. We've got a shovel over there. Shovel is the survivor from the Silent Hill chapter that came with Pyramid Head. We've looked at Pyramid Head. Now I heard the what's it there, but I honestly don't believe there's anybody in there because I didn't know this one I was playing before. But there's a new perk in the game where by interacting with lockers, when they sprint past them, they make it sound like there's the locker's been used, but it hasn't, and it's really good at throwing killers off who don't know about it. So she's down. This is the 3rd down. Leon's back here. I'll probably overcommit to this. But we've had one trap sprung. So you can see what you kind of want to do he's heard people to where your traps are. I'm going to drop this chase now because I want to go back for the Cheryl, but I'm a bit late. They've actually already got her back up. And Nia took a protection hit there. Well done, Nia, because I honestly figured that was landing on Cheryl. Looked to me like it was a secure thing. I didn't even know where Nia came from. She doesn't make that. It was probably a bit generous that I got that hit. I don't know. I expect that could have just as easily missed as it did hit. I think it's probably okay. Oh, that's my 4-fuck, is it? And it says it's my 4-fuck. It says it's my 4-fuck. Anyway, I know they want that gen, which they've unfortunately got. But I could see that Nia finished it. And she hadn't left herself much room to manoeuvre. So I'm going to stick Nia on this gen. And that was my 4th stack of barbecue and chili. So now I get my 100% blood points. I'm going to put a trap by this window. See if I get any play for that. To be fair, a lot of survivors wouldn't necessarily fall for that. I think, to be fair, it's kind of expected against a trapper that they'll trap the basement window. I'm going to reset that trap. Someone's ran this way. I think I'm going back for the Nia. Yes, they are. Hello, Cheryl. I don't know where she's got to. Well, that's the other one. So now down to 1 gen left. I didn't even see all that happening. She's down again. I think we're going to get a bit of a spiral going on soon. So there's somebody over there, but I can see I haven't really thought much of it. I haven't seen that person with the blue hair, have I? I'm going to put that by that gen, although I don't necessarily think it's a great one. I'm putting it there just in case they kind of come at it from an angle and there's some bushes there to hide it a bit. That's a bit preemptive. You don't have to hit them out of the trap, but if you're running something like Save the Best for Last, it's probably a good play. Because you can get stacks off of hitting them out of the trap. They've gone for that save. I don't know where she's ran to. She played that bad. She should have took that loop all the way around. So, it's safe on one side, it's not safe on the other. That loop was. It had a long piece on the left hand side and a short piece on the right hand side. That trap ain't doing anything, so I picked that back up. They're just going to probably let her die. I can hear who's down here. I heard that, Leon. I didn't quite know where he was, but I heard that. And we're going to put Leon in the basement. He's instantly dead. I was going to put a trap there, but there's no real need because he's dead. Trapper is basically kind of defensive. Fell back down. Trapper's kind of defensive, so if you've got things that are in your favour, you want to try and use his traps to secure them. But the problem is, he wastes a lot of time because he has to go and find his traps. They're not just given to him. He starts with one. Everything else he has to pick up as he's playing the game, which is why the trapper sacks and stuff are so important. because starting with 2 traps or being able to pick traps up or carry more traps with you as you progress in the map is really beneficial, as opposed to with his base kit, where if you're not running a trapper sack, you have 1 trap in your kit and you've got to put it down before you can pick up another, and it's just a really difficult way to have to play him. I can hear the trapdoor, but I don't know where it is. She's going for the gate anyway, which I'm not going to get back for that now. It's far too late to get back for the gate. She's out. She's out. But 3k, not bad. And that is trapper gameplay, effectively. So you pick up your traps, you put them down, put them in areas, common areas, through traffic. You can put them on pallets, you can use them to kind of get them away from pallets. If they're looping a particular pallet quite hard, you can put it there. Let's move on to the hag then. So hag, I've got agitation. The reason I've got agitation is because she's a slower killer than most. She walks at a 4.4 movement speed, not a 4.6. Being able to move faster when she's carrying, it does actually help. It throws people off. Got barbecue and chili again for the extra blood points in the aura reading. We've got monitor and abuse because she's a slower killer. She has a decreased terror radius. By running monitor and abuse, you can decrease it even more and get the drop on people. And then we've got hex ruin, which is going to slow down. I probably don't know if that's the best perk to run on her. It slow down if I scared survivors off the generator, it'll decrease at 200% automatically. And these 2 add-ons slightly increase the distance from which the hag can teleport, and it slightly decreases the time in which it takes her to set a trap. So hag's traps significantly different from trappers, because for the start she doesn't have to pick them up. She does not pick anything up. She just starts setting from the word go. She has 10 traps that she can lay around the map, and what traps even. What these traps do is they allow her to teleport to whatever location she sets them at. Now they can be countered. Survivors can crawl where they suspect a trap might be, not crawl, crouch even. And there goes hex ruin, that they get much used to it. I know there's somebody around here. I'm going to try and give him a smack if I can. But like I said, she's not really a chasing killer, and it's ironic that I spend a lot of time in this match actually in proper chases. It's not really how you want to play. But the interesting thing is, he goes off. It's not a great start for me, but then I have a massive pressure, and I really enjoyed this game for highlighting what hag does, because hag is a very defensive killer. What hag wants to do is secure like a kill or hook or some gens in a decent place, and then she wants to set her traps around that place, basically spin a little web of traps, and then she teleports to these different traps and just starts to dominate in that way. And she can be, hag is one of the few characters where you can feel like the game isn't actually over. So I'm just going to pull her right off that. She's the right play. Try to blind me, don't get it. I know there's more people around here. They're running around there. What I should probably just trap that bloody window. He's going to go for that. Now I could try and look for a hook, but I'm not going to, because I know there's another third person around. So I'm just going to drop him on the floor and leave him on the floor. So now I've got a person on the hook, person on the floor. There's somebody else running around. I think they're around the back. There you go. It's Claudette. Now the game really denied me then. I've got to be honest, that's annoying, because what happened, in case you couldn't tell, was I went for the grab, but it just interrupted. So basically the server it didn't really align with what was going on. The server at my end basically said that I got the grab. The server at their end said I didn't, so it just completely interrupted it and re-ripped the game as it saw fit at that particular time. They're supposed to be doing something to amend that, so at least you'll get something. If you don't get the grab, you should at least get the hit, and disappointing in that way. But it's not that bad. It's still 2 hooks, and I was right to let that earlier Dwight go that I found to secure that. Good, you have to know when to kind of drop or something. So she sprung a trap. There's actually 2 Claudettes in yellow in this game, for anybody wondering. So I'm going to just trade it up. I'm going to trade it up. There's the other claw there. So even if I don't... Now if I'd have had time, I probably could have teleported to that trap. But sometimes it's not always in your interest to teleport. You can mind game the traps, particularly around pallets. Sometimes you put a trap on one side of a pallet and then make your way around. They'll jump over, assuming you're going to teleport to that other side. Then they'll jump back. You don't move at all. You just stay on the other side. You've effectively kind of marking both sides. We'll give this a break. So that's four hooks now. I'm going to put a... What's it there? I've got 2 gens left. So that's not great really. And there we go. He's sprung here. He's going to drop this pallet. And I think I'm probably just going to let him go for a bit because I don't trust that there ain't more people around. I'm going to put the trap back down. Break this pallet so it can't be used against me again. And again, the grab messed me up. The grab messed me up. That's really frustrating, I have to say. Even watching it now, that annoys me. I should have broke this when I was here before. That really hurt me, that did. I should have been able to get that grab. I don't mean it upsets me when I say it hurt me. I mean it hurt the game. It hurt where I was in the game. Because in theory, if the ping was right and the servers was up to speed, then that'd have been a grab and there'd have been another down or another hook. So I could have either dropped her on the floor and chased somebody else, or put her on a separate hook. Obviously that's not the case now. I think I have 2 traps already over here. So I'm just going to trap by her feet because if I can get someone who's going to go for that rescue, I'm going to. At least with a hit. So David's healed. Dwight's still out there. I haven't hooked Dwight at all. I know I haven't hooked Dwight because I've only got 3 stacks of barbecue. And I've hooked the David and the 2 Claudettes. So they're working on this. I'm going to go through this way. There's the Dwight. But before we pursue a chase, I'm going to give this a smack to try and get some aggression on it because that's really nearly done. Pop a trap down there. I may well have lost the Dwight doing all this stuff, but we'll see. I've got her off the hook. I'm going to put a trap by this pallet here. I want to stay around here because I'm almost adamant that they're not going to want to leave it. Not with it so close. And I'm sure I just saw someone run there. Or maybe I did just, but I didn't at the time. I was recording. So I feel like they're trying to get my attention. See, yeah, that's what I mean. She mind gamed herself. She assumed that I was going to go for that husk and teleport into that husk of a trap. I wasn't. And that was a moonwalk. That won't always work. Again, good survivors don't really fall for that kind of stuff. But sometimes a survivor will assume that you're going to go one way and then quickly try and backtrack the way they've come. And get the benefit from it. So I know them over there, but I just wanted to check this gen, see what state it was in before I head over to that one because it's quite a distance away and I wasn't sure I was going to get it anyway. So I was ready to give that gen up. It was already nearly done. Dwight's back here again, nearly healed. I'm going to give him a smack. And I think, am I going to try and commit to this Dwight? I don't know. And we've got Dwight eventually. I'll just put a trap in the middle of that loop to kind of shut it down. So whatever option he took, if he tried to go through that particular loop, then I'd be able to quickly teleport in there. Don't be guaranteed. I mean, he could have had dead hard or any number of things. Trap stores right there. I think it spawns there a lot actually. I think of another game where it spawned there. So I'm going to put Dwight back down. I'm not going to try and pick him up because he's my obsession. And I don't have any obsession perks, so he's probably decisive. Whereby he's going to try and waste my time. Claudette's back down. So I'm getting some traps sprung, but you could say effectively what the aim of the game is with the hag. I'm a defensive killer. Play defensively. You don't have the speed that a lot of killers have. Got him fully healed though. Now you might think, well, you've already hit him. Aren't you wasting your time hitting him again, letting him get healed and stuff? Well, arguably, yeah. Arguably, it was a bit of a waste of time. But at the same time, if they've had to take time away from gens to heal him, well, then it weren't really a loss to me. So there's his dead hard. And he's a David, so I suspected he'd have a dead hard. Dead hard is basically like a mini sprint burst. Grants you a bit of invulnerability. I'll take that. I'm going to put a trap by his feet in case Dwight comes back for it. But he'll probably be sneaky and get past it. Also, I think the Dwight's got a flashlight, so he could technically spot it with a flashlight and then burn it away. That is a possibility with trap hags. But you'll see the benefit is that unlike Trapper, she's not actually wasting time picking up her traps and then resetting them. I'm not sure. He was already injured, that's why. And there you go, that's one of the things you can do. So that trap that I'll put by David. Was that David I just heard then? Put by David's feet paid off. Excuse me. I've trapped near the hatch in case they go for it, but I don't expect that's going to pay off all that well for me. So he's let himself go. I know where the hatch is. Sorry, David. I think I actually fall for his dead hard now. Yes, I do. Despite the fact that I knew he had it, I could have baited that. Let's see where he's going to try and go. What I think he's going to do. Gives me a bit of a run around here. I should have put a what's it on the other side of that. Could have denied him that with a trap. But either way, he's restricted on what his options are. It is really just a matter of time. And there you go, he's down. So Trapper got a 3k, Hag got the 4k. I'm going to go out and say that I think Hag's the better one out of the two. She can snowball. They both have snowball potential, but Hag's one of the few killers that can actually bring a game back from like the brink of death in a way that other killers can't. I've had games where even where the gates have been open, and because survivors have been greedy and they've tried to make all these saves and they've had to keep coming back to make saves, rather than just leaving and letting one survivor die, I've actually 4K'd with the Hag after the gates are open, which is a big thing. Some of the best killers in the game can't always attest to that, and then you get the full iridescent. emblems. Iridescent is your best score, by the way. So some people would say Hag's like Poor Man's Nurse. I think she's completely different. They both teleport, but they do it completely differently. And Nurse has a much higher skill cap. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you